What did we just watch? Ugh.
Tiger King.
We watched the first season, well, the only season of Tiger King.
I can't watch anymore.
No,
I
that
don't,
was.
I don't need another season.
Oh, I mean, there can't be another season, right? The guy's behind bars.
Maybe they'll go on to the other guys, Antle and whatever.
There'll probably be a follow-up episode or so, but I doubt there's going to be more because this it was a documentary series following this crazy bastard for years and years, and it's just 7 episodes of just madness and insanity and overall ego,
Oh, draining.
very draining. Like there's, I guess there's three groups of people. There's maybe four or five. There's Joe the Tiger King, and then there's another guy, Antol, I think his name is, and then there's
That's the ponytail sex slave guy.
yeah, the ponytail cult leader, and then there's the other lady, Carol Baskin, who's in. All of them are as bad as each other.
Yeah.
They're all trash,
Yeah.
and you watch it, you're just like, who the fuck are these people? Where did this?
Are they real? Just like.
This is like watching rednecks, the worst kind of people, like with. But for some reason, they get these animals together. They get a zoo together and take advantage of animals and all for their own egos and throw them at yeah. They're all like cats themselves. They're just fighting each other the whole series and as the series progresses, they lose focus on the animals and first 2 episodes were maybe about the animals
and then it devolves into petty rivalries and murder plots.
yeah, and you get to see that after during the course of the show they talk about you see their greed when they talk about the little kittens, the little cats, and those are the money bringers in there. They bring the money in, so the people like Joe the Tiger King want these little ones so they can get the pairing and get the pictures. But when they get older, they just discard them and God knows how many real tigers, big tigers, they killed because they become useless. They become eaters and non-money makers, and it was a complicated show full of all sorts of fuckery and
crazy people.
Yeah, meth heads,
criminals turning on each other, and just a big snake pit of
people shooting each other. Guy shooting himself in the fucking head.
That was brutal.
That was fucking. This is a reality show where real life doesn't seem. It seems. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like you're watching a zoo, a literal zoo, and the people in it are animals as well.
The worst kind of animals. No, animals are good. Yeah. People are just terrible.
Yeah, people suck. These people, some of them are good people. There's a couple of the animal carers who are good people. Like that lady, the lady who lost her arm. She lost her arm. A tiger fucking, I don't know, ate her arm off, and she came to work like 2 days later.
Yeah.
And she's all cool about it. She seemed like a down to earth kind of cool person.
Yeah, she had a head on her shoulders.
And the other guy,
they all seemed a bit like just kind of going along with the madness.
The manager of the place seemed like a decent guy.
Yeah.
And the guy who'd lost both his legs, he was a decent guy who just loved. You could tell loved the animals.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were there for just opportunistic reasons. Like the guy with the reality filmmaker was there because he knew this was a gold mine of
trash.
Yeah, and he knew what he had.
It's just everybody exploiting each other, really.
Yeah, and it makes you feel really dirty.
Yeah.
I feel fucking filthy after watching that show, but I knew we at least should talk about it.
Like even the Baskin lady. Like she's supposed to come across as like a champion of wildlife, and really she's got an edge of.
She's cold. She's like a fucking sociopath or something.
Yeah, I don't buy this.
There's the idea of, the editing can change your perspective on someone, so maybe everyone was edited a certain way.
Yeah.
But going by what the show presented, she looks like a fucking nutcase and
Yeah.
probably murdered her husband as well.
Yeah.
But she's smarter than the rest of them because she can be on the lost side. Meanwhile, Joe is too dumb and runs his mouth off all the time. And I mean, how can he not think he would go to jail with all those shows he did on the internet, shooting a dummy of her in the head?
He just didn't. He was too dumb and didn't care. I don't think.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't care how he treated other people, like his friends or anything.
yeah.
And then it translated to the tigers and all of his other animals. He just lost sight. He wasn't paying attention to anything.
He got the and his, by the end of the first episode, you see him in one of his songs singing one of his pop songs or something,
Mm-hmm.
country songs. So by then his ego is off the charts.
Mm.
And when his husband had died, shot himself accidentally, you see him at the funeral with the collar on, the priest collar, and he's singing at the funeral, and you can tell he's not really there. He doesn't really care about this guy. He's more there because the cameras are there and he's making a show of it. He's
It's all about the Joe show.
Yeah. So and when one of his employees says, yeah, he probably had onions in his pocket so he could cry and wipe his eyes, and
Mm.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe the guy's all about performance, and
Everybody seems to be living a lie.
yeah. What did you think of the episode two? I think it was the cult of personality, the cult angle. They're all each of them have got different personalities, and they surround themselves with people who worship them in different ways.
Mm.
So Joe has got his two husbands who and all these followers who
Misfits.
yeah he's followers of misfits, right? And um, the other guy Antol, I think his name is, he is a manipulating scumbag.
He's gross.
He's like
They're all gross.
getting
God.
all the young girls around and making them sleep in horse stables.
Yeah, keep them poor, make them sleep with you, work them to death.
And then eventually you it's like Scientology or something. You keep put them up more and more steps until they've get they just love you and they've got nowhere else to go. I would have liked to see more on that lady who left
Yeah.
his tiger church, I guess. And
Like, did she say when or like what made her leave?
no, it didn't. She was in episode two. She didn't really talk about why she left or what
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
made her abandon that whole thing. But that guy, and he was, I liked it how the show didn't let him manipulate the filmmakers. So the filmmakers show up and he says, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll go around the back and open the door and I'll say hello to you guys like it's natural. Hey guys, come on in. And they kept that in the documentary, like showing him trying to manipulate them, and
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, fuck you, this is our show.
Yeah.
And
We'll show you how we want to show you.
so that was cool. That was nice. But it's fucking nuts, and it's amazing as well. It says, I think everybody should watch this because it's so remarkable for someone, a documentary filmmaker, to go there, follow these crazy misfits over years and years and years, and get this incredible story.
Like, who would have thought it would turn into all that?
No, you couldn't even imagine. And it just getting every episode gets crazier and crazier, and you just don't even believe it's real.
And then the last episode is just, I really didn't. It just made me. It was hard to watch this, to be honest. Like nothing good happened. There wasn't really.
No.
It was just awful.
It's like watching people being really greedy
and getting away with a bunch of shit, and
like,
animals being treated poorly, and
like that piece of shit with the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like my dad knew a guy like that. My dad used to work in a overseas in Dubai, and he knew a guy like that who had the fancy car and the nice looking house and stuff and the mistresses, but really he was behind on his car payments. He didn't really own anything. It was all for show. So everyone is all the same.
Big scam.
They're all the same person, but different.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
How they do their scams.
It's just ego, right? Just everyone. Maybe there's a weird, like, poison with tigers. maybe they do something to you. Some guy said that in the show. If a tiger, being around those tigers changes the way you think, or
Well, probably like, okay, so you get a tiger and it's supposed to be this majestic beast, and it like chooses you and loves you or whatever.
mm-hmm.
I mean, that would give you some sort of like feeling of like, ooh, I'm one with the tiger. Like that would go to your head
Yeah.
if you have a whole bunch of tigers who come to you and you take care of all these tigers and
I liked it when they're in the cages and then they're talking like everything's normal, and suddenly the tiger will grab onto someone and then just start
doesn't let go.
pulling, and they're like, "Oh, bad, bad, bad," as if the tiger cares what you say
Yeah.
or think. When it had Joe's foot, and it just kept grabbing his foot and pulling, and it was probably going to eat his leg off, and he's thinking, "Whoa, what's going on? It must be some conspiracy. Someone must have sprayed my foot with meat or something."
Or
And
it
it's
could
like,
just be a tiger.
it's just a fucking tiger, yeah. It's got your foot because it's got your foot.
But the ego makes you think otherwise.
His ego is off the charts, running for president and governor,
Amazing.
and I think he, at the end when he goes to prison, spoilers, who cares? He goes to prison and then, I think that the charges of murder for hire were just bullshit. Like, he's a bullshit artist. His mouth opens and he talks and talks and talks and he talks himself into trouble, a whole lot of trouble. But really, it was all bullshit, right? I mean, paying the guy money to go to Florida.
I'm just confused about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, this person said this, and this person said this, and this person's lying, and this person is now lying too.
It's very
It's
confusing.
just,
And it's
what
hard
is
to believe
happening?
because
They're all criminals.
and they're all trash.
Yeah.
So we're
Why believe anything that any of them say?
no. It's like, and it was sort of like entrapment. They rigged him up and took agents there to make him say something, and if he's already said it a million times online, so why wouldn't he say it when you're secretly recording him? It's hard to wrap your mind around the legal stuff in this.
Did they even like resolve that thing where he used funds to he used the Tiger Park's funds to
For the
for the campaign?
political, no, they didn't talk about
Like
that much either.
Because I think that was just him being stupid and not realizing you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah. What about they never talked about, wrapped up the euthanasia part of the killing the animals like
Yeah.
that. I think that's scratching the surface. They probably killed a lot of animals.
Because it's just cheaper to like do it properly.
Yeah, and over the years they kept saying the young cubs make the most money, so you want a lot of those for the pictures and the media and stuff, but you can't. So you have to keep producing the young tigers, but at the same time, the amount of food that they eat, like he was getting fucking crap from Walmart to feed to these poor animals.
Yeah. And the conditions they lived in was gross.
Yeah.
And they're grabbing the young cubs with a stick out of the birthing nest or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Gross.
So I'm thinking there's a bigger pout there with
Just bodies everywhere.
bodies of animals and Carol Baskin's husband somewhere, and
I hate everyone in this movie.
it was a filthy, filthy, dirty, rotten trash.
And that, like, the end episode with the chimpanzee.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ! I didn't need to end on that.
No.
I hate. I'm never watching this again.
No.
And I really like. Like, I know this is like a trending thing in the world right now, and everyone's like making fun of it and dressing up, but this was disgusting.
Yeah. And those animals though are, I hope that piece of trash building that zoo, that other zoo didn't get to build that zoo.
I know, we should look that up.
And I hope that those animals are away from those cages, and because yeah, the chimpanzee thing was kind of, it got me there. It's like, holy fuck, like, and he did own up to it there, Joe, at the end. He says, yeah, it was me and I did that for.
I have like messed up memories. All of them are haunted.
Yeah.
Christ.
So, well, it was a jaw-dropping. It deserves to be trending because it's so insane.
It is insane.
And it should get attention, at least because people can then say, what a woe be these animals, right?
Maybe it'll stop people from going to these places.
Yeah, don't go and visit tigers. If you're out there and there's a tiger zoo, don't go and pay money to pet a tiger.
Yeah, just send money to ship them back to their own environments.
Yeah. So, what did we just watch?
I don't know.
Something we'll never watch ever again. Tiger King Murder
Was like
Mayhem
any
Madness.
was there any redeeming characteristics for any of these people? Like,
They
do
started
you
off.
pity any of them?
um,
Do they?
I think some of them started off with good intentions, and started off with the right way, the right things to do, and
then
their greed and especially their egos. And maybe this is a lesson for people, and it shows you what an ego is and where it can go and the horrible places it can take you.
hashtag stay humble.
Yeah, and check yourself before you cage fucking innocent animals, pieces of shit.
Brutal.
Brutal and sickening and disgusting and energy sapping.
Yeah.
And a crazy roller coaster of mayhem. And and I'll never ever want to watch it again.
That hurt.
Yeah. So there, on to something more uplifting.
Yeah, this didn't end well. That I didn't need to see that.
I think they all need to go to jail. Throw them all in jail.
The whole lot.
Yeah. Put them in cages and let the tigers go. That's what we have to say.